All right. Do we, oh, that was just cool. Hi, my name is Brian, and yeah, we are learningtree.guru, and I love to learn stuff. Just last summer, despite being completely musically inept, I decided I was going to learn to play the guitar. And of course, the first thing that I do is I go online, I start pulling down YouTube videos, looking at blogs, finding some lesson plans, Khan Academy, Lynda, all over the place. And frankly, I just found it all to be very disorganized, completely disconnected, and really overwhelming. I just didn't know where to start or where to go. And that's where Learning Tree comes in. What we do is we simplify the pathways to mastery by finding the best content on the internet and then turning it into connected and digestible pieces. Okay? So let's take a look at what that might actually look like. Well, we spent the last 54 hours making something for you, and this is what it could be. So you start with an idea like, I want to learn to play the guitar. So you start at a high level, and the cool thing about it is that you start with, you can learn just by zooming, searching, and discovering. So if we take a zoom into the guitar, now you see these sub-levels come up like strumming and fingering. But you want to keep going down, so you zoom again. And now you have ideas like actual chord patterns and strumming patterns. And what's fun about this is this really opens it up. So it's a landscape that you can explore, and you can just kind of navigate around and say, oh, I learned some of these chords, and I learned some of these strumming patterns. This is all at about the novice level. So you can really kind of become accustomed to something at the novice level. And that's really cool, but let's say you want to learn something a little more advanced. Like, I want to learn to play Hey Jude on the guitar. How do I actually do that? Well, for that, I actually recommend the search function. So that will let you drive down deeper. So if you search for Hey Jude, boom, that drives down, finds Hey Jude for you. And if you click on it, it actually pulls up a detailed learning plan for you. You can see over here over on the left, everything that you need to know all the way down to how to play it. And by doing that, each one of these are small, digestible pieces that you can actually understand. And what's really cool about it is all the content is crowdsourced by the Learning Tree community. So if you click on one of these, you see the content up there. You're presented with the best YouTube videos out there. The Learning Tree community has gone and said, the one over on the left, that's the absolute best one. That's 103 votes. And then the next two top videos are there as well. You also have content, text descriptions to help out, and that is editable just like a wiki. Well, you can close that. That's cool. You can edit the content. You can go find stuff. But, this pathway is great. But this pathway is just the most popular pathway. It's the pathway that everybody kind of recommends. Let's say you're a left-handed guitar player, or you want to edit this and customize it, make it your own, right? You do that, you press that little green button, and that will take you through the process of editing these nodes and making a new learning pathway. Cool. All right, so that is Learning Tree as the software. And that's great because Learning Tree, we're dedicated to basically being a flexible platform that lets you learn virtually anything for free. But how do we actually make money with that? We decided to go with the pay-to-be-private model, the thing that both Red Hat and GitHub use. The idea is if you can create your pathways, you can create content, but if you want to keep that private, you don't want to share that with the community, you just have to pay us. That's great. Yeah. Our customer segments for the paid side are corporate training, education centers, and private sectors, private instructors. Our main target would be corporate, where we would actually focus on that. That's a $60 billion market. But we can focus just on retail and manufacturing as an $80 million market to start with, because they indicate that 60% of them want to increase their training budgets. 50% say they're going to do that internally. And yeah, we even managed to track one down and ask them, and they said, yes, we need something that's flexible, something that's customizable. And they said, can we get this by the end of the weekend? We're like, well, no. But it's flexible, it's easy to use, and it's easy to update. So that saves reduced time in training, and it actually makes your employees more knowledgeable. So that is Learning Tree. So come and join us, and let's make the pathway to mastery simple. Thank you. I thought we were done. I'm tired. Yeah. Questions, sorry.
You go into the guitar on this. I mean,
Yeah.
do you foresee this going into other instruments, wherever it goes, or how much of it are you guys curating the content? How much of it is just strictly wherever the market takes it?
Yeah, the hope would be to let it go where it goes. Kind of like Wikipedia, where they get experts to kind of jumpstart it, but then really it's about having the community drive the content. So I personally, it was guitar, but I was looking at wine tasting, and I just finished my PhD, which I joke was an advanced degree in Googling. So I would have been there, like adding streams to this. So.
As far as the monetization strategy, you mentioned private. Can you explain how that works a little bit more? Like, if you're private, then what you curate doesn't get shared, or like what do you get from being private?
Sure. Yeah. So if you're private, what you can do is you can create basically your own private pathways, and if you want to create content and you want to keep that all that private, then that doesn't go out to the community. So like if you are an engineer or company training system and you want to teach all of your incoming engineers how to do a process, but you don't want that process to be public, you could use this pathway system. And in talking with the customers, they're actually really interested in having their senior engineers help design the content. And so that's the part about making these like modular things that are easy to create. So you can have your top engineer spend 5 minutes making a video about how to do this one task, and then that plugs into this longer pathway that's part of the training system.
So you see businesses being primarily the target for creating private environments that people build
Yes.
up their content and product to their organization?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so it would be corporate training. So if you have a system where you need to educate your employees about some system, you create an internal private system.